Really fired up for our football team. Probably the best 60 minutes we've put together as a team. Obviously, there's things we can still clean up, but when I look just at the whole picture of it, you came into adversity as well. I mean, it's a tight game going into the fourth. I just love the way our kids hang in there and continue to fight and believe. And we talked about feeding off each other, and the offense is scoring, the defense is going 3 and out in that second half. There was just some great things going on, and again, it wasn't just a total blowout, but the score looks like it at the end. But our kids just kept playing and fighting, and I was excited about just the way they responded to adversity in the game. So, questions?
Coach, what happened to receiver Kanate Monkfield? Was he hurt today?
I would guess so, right? I mean, yeah, he was, he was not ready to go, and we got a lot of that going on. Again, we're 6 games in. We got a halftime. We get a week off, which is much needed. I think we'll have some guys back. I think Rodney Hammond will be back. Pregame, I'm like, dude, you ready to go? He went through pregame. He looks like he's ready to go. Hopefully, we'll get 2 starting offensive linemen back. Hopefully, Kanate will be back. Kanate's been good the last 2 weeks, but hey, that's the way it goes. And again, that's the thing. We're not playing out. We don't have a bunch of starters out there. Second half, you got Baldonado and Servassier. I was worried about not having number 7 in there in the middle, just controlling things. But Shane Simon did an outstanding job moving from the money position to the mic, and just gives you more combinations. Maybe I told Servassier, maybe you just got beat out today by Shane in the second half. Looked like we stopped the run better. Just joking. 7 will be on the field.
And how do you describe what Izzy did today?
I'm sorry, Izzy?
How do you describe?
I mean, breaking a record, Tony Dorsett record. It's been there for a long, long time. I've told you for a long time. I mean, just in the right style offense. I mean, I think someone asked the question. EJ told me that we run first. Probably should be. He's got breakaway speed. I mean, if he pops through there, good luck to you. Not many guys, catch him. I mean, over 300 yards rushing. It's like, and we didn't even, he only had 36 carries. Probably could have given it to him another 10 times. He cramped up a little bit. I was like, get him out. Izzy's a football player. Izzy's really good.
Coach, a number of memorable backs. What makes Izzy special?
His speed. I mean, even that one run he had down inside the 25-yard line that looked like he was stopped on a 3rd down and whatever it was. And I mean, he pops out of there and goes. He's strong, he's physical, and he's really fast. And that's a good combination to have as a tailback.
Frank calls a lot of offensive or rushing concepts that are similar through different formations. Have you seen that allow these guys to build that chemistry and trust each other? Like Izzy can trust his linemen to hit certain plays at certain times a lot faster?
Our guys got, when we go, 2 tight ends, even in the third quarter, we went, some 2 tight end stuff and kind of picked up the tempo a little bit, which was our plan going in. We thought it'd be good. We thought it'd, shock them a little bit, and it did. We got 2 touchdowns off of that personnel grouping alone. I think we started off with a lot more, 3 wideouts. It was okay. But when we put the big boys in there and run it, that's what we're good at right now. And, last year we could throw it pretty good. This year we're just better off at just pounding it down your throat a little bit. And, we'll just continue to see, what we are personnel-wise and get some guys back healthy.
Last year, you saw your quarterback really kind of burst onto the national scene and get some national attention. Do you feel like that's happening with your running back right now after his effort today?
I think so. But, we're just worried about winning football games. That'll, it's 6 games in. We'll find out how he finishes. Got 6 more ACC games to go, and we got to take them one at a time. We get to go to Louisville next, and after a much-needed open week, I guarantee you that.
How would you assess how the defense has played so far this year?
Just average at times. We'll look at the tape. The first half, there's no I've just never been around where we get the ball run on us. I'm not used to it. So we'll reevaluate where we were. I think we made some great halftime adjustments. We sat in there and looked at what we were doing, what they're doing. And again, they do a good job in the run game. Coach Rudolph, I think, is probably the run game coordinator and does a nice job. But there's just no, I don't like that. I don't like anybody running the football on us. If you want to throw it, but don't let them, be 2-dimensional. We let them run it in the first half. Second half, I don't know what they had yardage-wise, but we pretty much shut it down in the second half. But they can't do it in the first half.
Pat, how do you assess Keaton's day? It seemed like he had a hard time seeing the field. A couple open guys that he was passing up and still checking down. How do you guys get him back going?
We'll figure it out. We got to get him. We got to get him. We got to make him better. We got to make him better as coaches, and so we'll look into that. I got some ideas, and we'll figure that thing out.
Pat, Izzy going for as many yards and touchdowns as he did with essentially 4 offensive linemen either out of place or reserves. What's that say about the depth at that position?
We think we're pretty deep there. And again, the schemes obviously are good. Coach Signetti and Coach Borbley do a great job at, and Coach Powell, just with what do we want to do run wise. And again, just the bigger people in there. We got more explosive things. I mean, maybe we should have started off with 2 tight ends and 2 backs earlier. We kind of mix around, talk at halftime. What do we want to do? And we did some great things in the second half. Again, good job coaching by our coaches in the second half.
You had Branson now start at left tackle the last 2 games over Carter. Your thoughts on how he's done?
I think he's been pretty good. I mean, his nickname is Big Baby, so he's a young baby, and they're starting at left tackle, protecting the quarterback's back, and I think he did a solid job. We'll look at the tape and see. But when you run the ball like Izzy ran it today, it's about the offensive line. We talked about hog pride, and the Hogs got it done today. And I don't think, did we give up a sack today? I don't even know. One, we gave up a sack. So, on the third down and long.
On John Morgan's forced fumble, what did you see from him? He's been the guy that's led you guys in the jungle pregame warm-up. How has he been?
He loves that jungle.
He loves it.
I told him, make sure you don't pull a hammy in the jungle, okay? That'd be our luck, getting hurt in the jungle, because he gets fired up. You should have seen him, preseason. So, just warming up for it. I was like, holy cow, this guy's going to get hurt. John Morgan, that was a great play by him. You don't usually see a 270-pound linebacker, hitting the receiver down the field, but obviously it was decent coverage. Should have been a sack on the play. I think Bengali had someone, grabbing him around the neck, so there was no call there. I was not happy with that, but I was obviously happy with John Morgan's hit on the receiver, and that turnover was big time.
When did you realize that Izzy was going to have a special day, and what the record was coming into the game?
We're not looking at any records. We're just trying to win a football game. I had no idea about the record. EJ told me after the game. We're just trying to, we know Izzy's a good football player, so every week he has a chance to if we get him 36 carries, he's got a chance to break the 200-yard mark. And again, he pops through there, you don't know what it's going to be.
Going back to John's play on that fumble, you just given up that blocked punt for a touchdown. They're driving back down the field. How badly did you need that play, and how much did it swing?
We needed it big. I mean, we give up a block punt. It was really a drop punt. I don't know if they blocked it. We blocked it. We did it ourselves. Again, another self-inflicted wound out of our punt team. So we got to evaluate what we're doing there, how we're doing it. You got to catch the ball. It's a little high by Byron. He's got to make the catch. It's just that'll get us beat later on.
Were you aware, at a certain time that Izzy has this many touchdowns, or he's like maybe 5 yards away, and just what's the excitement level with that? I'm being this close to a record or tying a record, just those emotions.
Yeah, the records are great. I want to win football games, and I think Chris Asau kind of muttered something to me. I was kind of like didn't really want to hear it, but something about 6 TDs, and he kind of was sputtering around. I didn't even know what he was talking about. And then he said he's 5 yards shy. I think right before he got the cramp, or the play before he got a cramp, of breaking some other record. I mean, I don't care about records. After the game, I do. It's awesome for him. Tony Dorsett, one of the greatest tailbacks ever to play in Pitt history. That's pretty significant.
Penalties for 76 yards. You've been talking about needing to sharpen up. How do you guys get your players to sharpen up so that this stops?
Yeah, again, they had 8, we had 9. I thought there was, whatever. Don't get me into the penalties. That roughing the passer, guys. Roughing the passer. Are you kidding me? I thought the fans might, crash the field, but whatever. I just try to, I send the plays in. We'll get them looked at, and I can just tell you this: we've had about a 50% response back that we agree it's a bad call, or we've had a 50 response on plays that don't get called. We've gotten cut, whammed, and cut. This new chop rule that never gets called. And Dennis Hennigan's done an outstanding job of giving us responses, saying, sorry, coach. But some of those, we'll look at. There was a push off for one of their touchdowns, and then they're calling PI on us. Those are all things. Don't get me fired up. The officials are doing a great job. They're doing a great job.
Coach, thank you very much.
And you got one more. Go ahead.
My question is your thoughts on your special teams hustle, blocking the extra point and blocking the punts.
Yeah, we hustle. Our guys play with effort. I told them this. I said, hey, I ain't worried about your effort. We needed, one of the things we said is, talking to your penalties, Chris, is we got to play smart. We play with effort. That's not a question. Our guys play hard. Even with all the penalties we had last week, our guys, I never questioned their effort. They play hard. We got to play smart, and we got to play well. There's a difference between playing hard and just doing reckless things. But we got to play well, and our guys, I thought, did a decent job of that. We ran into the punter the one time, a 5-yard penalty. Still don't get that, but guys want to go make plays, and you got to applaud them for that. But we have to be smart.